Join hands, boys and girls. Say it with me. One word, 4 letters. Jail.
20-year-old woman is out on bail tonight, according to court records, after investigators say she lied about an attempted rape and kidnapping in Middletown. The man she accused of the crime spent 31 days in jail before all charges against him were withdrawn, says the DA's office.
Prosecutors say cases like this can impact how victims feel about coming forward. Here's our Kelly Rule.
The father of the man wrongly accused talked to me off camera this afternoon, saying this hasn't only been horrible for his son, but for the entire family. Investigators say these types of cases not only impact the community, but future victims of these types of crimes.
It's a horrible thing to make up. Horrible.
Suzanne McHale had concerns about shopping in Langhorne Square Shopping Center on Lincoln Highway after Middletown Township Police announced an arrest in an attempted rape and kidnapping case last month in the Redner's parking lot, only to find out from the Bucks County District Attorney's Office this week, 20-year-old Angela Yurimova allegedly made it up.
It's terrible for other customers that were probably in fear, including myself coming. And then it's terrible for the poor accuser to be accused of something he didn't do. It is damaging. It's a bad thing all around. Shouldn't be done.
According to court documents, back in April, Yurimova gave police a description of a man's truck and identified him as her attacker. But when confronted by detectives on Friday, she admitted that she lied, saying she named him because she had seen him at his truck in the shopping center previously and thought he was, quote, creepy. The man was originally charged with multiple felony offenses and spent 31 days in jail. According to the DA's office, all charges were withdrawn.
Sexual assault is one of the most traumatic things a person can go through. It takes tremendous courage to come forward. These allegations were absolutely false.
First Assistant DA Edward Luca says this is the result of taking all allegations of sexual assault seriously, but also seeing the investigation through to the truth. And they plan to take the case against Yurimova just as seriously.
Cases like this feed into, I guess, a stereotype or a notion that true victims who have truly been traumatized and victimized might not be telling the truth. If this stops even one victim from coming forward, then that's also irreparable as well.
Yurimova was charged with filing a false police report, among other crimes. Again, according to court records, she did post bail this morning. We did reach out to the attorney of the man wrongly accused, and we're still waiting to hear back.
At this point, I believe people are just doing this to get chills down their spine, because you mean to tell me you falsely accused the guy of because you deemed him creepy and he was just out and about living his best life. You mean to tell me if this dude was just sitting there with a Starbucks coffee cup in his hand, smacking his gums, talking about how he's in his soft guy era, that's grounds for you to put a hit out on him that put him in jail for 31 days, a full month, and you were just sitting there living your best life like, man, I did the great thing. Oh, I stopped somebody because my intuition kicked in and it let me know that based on my tarot card readings and my astrological sign, my Pisces has dictated that is a nuisance and the Gatorade retrograde is coming down upon him and it's going to cast upon other innocent people. And so it's up to me to save the day, because without me, it'll be something that leads to a lot of problems in society. If I don't falsely accuse this person of a crime with no evidence to back it, now I'm thankful that this dude got out, but let's not be dumb here. Even though all the charges have been withdrawn, all of this is expunged from his record. The reputation that he will have around him, especially for people who don't bother to do any form of extra research, they will think of him as a nuisance. They will think of him as a criminal. They will think of him as a predator, not because of anything he actually did, but because some bimbo bitch got bored and decided she wanted to be a true crime suspect victim. And it's a little bit concerning how that many people will do something like that. You saw that there was a woman there who was afraid to go to the store because of something like this, because she's hearing all the news. She's hearing that that's somebody in the area, and it's making her think, this could happen to me, or this could happen to little girls that I know. I don't want to bring anybody around here. You have ruined this man's reputation for nothing but your own gratification. And thankfully, I can map out all of my astrological signs and I could predict something very, very keen that's going to happen in your life. Orange juice? Oh, well, this is a symbol of something, of you gonna have your cherry popped in jail, because that's what the fuck deserves to happen to pieces of shit like you. And for the people in the back that get mad when I make these types of jokes, understand that these are for the motherfuckers who deserve nothing but negativity. A collection of people who want to spend their time actually taking away from real victims, because yes, you might be tired of me saying this, but it's true. There are actual victims of who really don't get their story trending, who don't get their story on the news, who don't get traction, because instead of focusing on the real things, motherfuckers are focusing on the sensationalized thing that further leads credence to not believing anybody and ruining the reputation of somebody who dare just live their life and be out in public. And I despise it. I hate it, no matter if it's some sexual crime or some racial hate crime. There are actual instances and examples we could pull up, but the reason we never do, and the reason why actual stories take all these times for people to actually say something, is because the motherfucker and the motherfucking sympathizers somehow band together and promote the most obvious bullshit under the sun. Thankfully, this dude is able to walk his life, and I hope, at least for his own sake, he don't have to deal with a bunch of people walking up to him and saying, "Aren't you that guy that did this? How are you out in public? You must be disgusted with yourself," because that's not what he deserves. But I live in the real world, and I know there's at least a slight chance that he's gonna have to deal with that, and it's going to fucking suck for him. Not because he did anything wrong, but because a bitch was bored. And if you weren't already slightly mad, let me piss you off. Her grandmother, who Uramuva, terrible name, claimed suffered from dementia, did not recognize her as she entered the house and threw a plastic object at her, striking her in the lip. This incident allegedly caused a laceration to her lip that she later blamed on Pearson. After investigators tracked Pearson down and put him in a photo lineup the following day, Uramuva, again, terrible name, said she was 60% sure he was the suspect. So if you just so happen to be someone who fits a description and you go into the police station and you're with, let's say, 8 other people, any one of y'all could have been picked out depending on how this stupid bitch tends to operate in her daily life. And that's fucking sad. And that should have raised an eyebrow to many people, because if you're not 100% sure of something, why in the fuck would we even take you seriously? Now I understand you got to do your due diligence. I'm not against the police operating under the guise of dotting their I's and crossing their T's, because that is their job, and it's good that they did their job and followed through, even though it took a month to get to the facts of the matter. I am still fucking annoyed that this bitch somehow almost got away with framing a dude for something he did not do. And it would stand to reason, while you bitches are choosing bears, these motherfuckers are choosing AI to deal with, because there's a little bit of gratification in dealing with a robot not going to falsely accuse them of something, while you are getting your fucking insides eaten out because you decided to pick an animal that could harm you. But in the meantime, let me know if I'm crazy for this take I'm about to say. It's not something original. Many people have said it. I believe I said it before. You need to go to jail for the same length of time, if not a little bit more, as somebody who actually commits the crime. Because if you're willing to lie about it, you're willing to do the time about it. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye. I'm going to wash myself.